Okay, so essentially what I've done here is I have taken this master xref, and so what it does is it brings in a xref that contains xrefs, and so if I just show you here, all it does is it brings this in, and then we are then creating section cuts which are generated up here, and so all these are our section cuts, and so if I click on here, it's a nice section cut, just the way I like it. The issue is when I then took this, the name of this drawing, and I brought it into another drawing, I was not able to freeze any of these layers right here. It would just straight freeze the xref itself. I couldn't target, any of these layers. And so then I said, okay, well, what happens if I take this and copy it and bring it down here, and I explode and then burst it? So I did that. I exploded it and bursted it. And here we can see, well, let's not do that one. We can see that this is all native line work. However, the layer name still contains the xref prefix on it. And so then that is now an underlying issue, because when I then go and I bring this into a new drawing, for example, which I've done here, so I've just referenced in that DWG that contains all of those sections in the bursted line work. And if I go over here and I tell it to list, what layer that's on, it tells me that it's part of it's underlying xref and then on layer MNE. And so when I come over here and I try to freeze that, you can see nothing happens. However, what it actually did is it actually froze it over here, and so it's supposed to be coming in right here, and it's not. So it's freezing the underlying xref's layer key, but it's not freezing. It's not freezing it here, and I was like, that's pretty odd. So then to investigate that a little bit further, I then took all this line work, and I just do a copy base on it, and I bring it into a new drawing. Well, actually, I think I've already done it here. I just paste this in here. And now what's very interesting is the following. When I'm going to click on this line work, you'll see that instead of saying that same layer, now it's just GXref and on a color. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. And so then it got me thinking, and I was like, okay, well, what happens if instead of bringing in any of these 3D entities, how I was before, which is, before I was bringing them all in via a drawing called master, and it contains all of this. So again, it's just, master contains all of these 3D entities. What happens if I just take the native 3D entity, so this is all native geometry right here. What if I just bring that in and then I create a section of that? So I did that, and I made a section right here, and then I then exploded and bursted the section here, and now I'm able to freeze any of this stuff exactly as you would think, and it works just fine. And so again, freezing the section itself just freezes the entire section. So that's why I did the bursting and the exploding. And so it tells me it's going to work. However, you can't have xrefs in there. So I started thinking about, how can we get around this? A simple Lisp routine that just targets all of these entities here and finds the prefix of the xref before the layer name. I hope you're following. You could just truncate that and change, this layer instead of being on Baghouse Exhaust Fans xref, then MNE. You just truncate it and put it on MNE. If you have any ideas as to how I can better work with these section cuts, that way I'm able to actually freeze and do layer overrides and things like that, please let me know.